Good.
Still sharing this out.
What, Nick? What? What?
I still haven't. I still don't understand how I've not been able to figure this out yet.
You think you don't understand?
Like what Tom just said. Always.
Well, Tom, you almost got yourself a little treat. There was a different name for Nick, and he changed it right before we came on.
Yes, I did. Because I looked. I'm thinking, oh damn, that was from last. That was the last time we spoke. I got to change that back.
Yeah. I'm still working on sharing this thing out.
I actually thought Jeremy had done that to you.
No, that was me. I did that.
No,
I did that purposely.
I don't have the capability of changing people's names.
Hey,
Oh,
what's up, Jan?
Yeah.
hey.
If you are on this count, nobody but you can change your name.
Yes, I know that. That's the one thing I don't like about EV Mux is you can't change everybody's names like you could with StreamYard.
Mhm.
Wikipedia. It's been a long time since I've used that name actually.
Yeah, because you know me, I like to have fun with people.
It's too bad there's no way you can just simply contact EV Mux and ask for that kind of request.
I seriously doubt that.
That's the least
No,
of our worries.
yeah,
We
I
just want
know.
it to work.
If it was that easy. Actually, Jeremy, I think you could because I'm able to, like with anybody. I'm not going to, but you might because if you have control
I
over
don't think
EV
you
Mux
can.
too, you
I
might
have
be able to.
tried to edit your name. It tells me not allowed to change name of collaborators.
Right.
Oh, okay,
Right.
okay.
That's
I
what it
didn't
tells
know
me
that.
too.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't realize that shows up.
Oh yeah. I discovered that several weeks ago when I tried to change your name to something. I forget what it was, but I was going to change your name to something, and it wouldn't let me. Well, shit.
I think it had to do with somebody's bitch again.
um,
Well, just like Elton John, the bitch is back.
yeah. Jeremy, I think one of the page has been disconnected. The Things of Illinois page,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
well, that's the second one. I had to take off the LinkedIn one because it
Well,
wasn't connecting either.
that's bizarre.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
Yeah, you gotta love technology.
Well, yes and no.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. All right, folks. So tonight's going to be a little bit of a somber night.
Yeah,
This has been a really, really bad week um, in the entertainment industry. 2 days ago, we lost Ozzy Osbourne, which we already knew was going to happen. We just didn't think it was going to happen
uh,
this quick.
I honestly thought he didn't have much time left.
I I was giving him maybe a year
Yeah,
after that concert, maybe a year.
right.
I was not counting on 19 days.
And
Yep.
I thought when I heard it that it was, I know people are talking about the suicide pact, but it was, the pact
No.
was actually if one of them had certain illnesses that they would do it. Not that they would do it together. They never said that. But I thought
That was the
that
impression that I got, that was why they had both moved to Switzerland.
it was. It was. But that was one of his favorite places where he was at.
Yeah.
Um, but they, I thought that's what it was. But the things I'm seeing now, of course, they haven't come out with the actual cause, but what I'm seeing now, it was very unexpected. He did not get to do it his way.
Yeah. Although I
Yeah,
did
I'm
hear
I'm gonna say that it's probably better this way.
Hmm.
right.
Now he's not going to have that tainting his legacy.
Right.
Exactly. I did find out that when he died, although they still haven't said the exact cause of his death, they did say he was surrounded by his family when he died.
He was
So
surrounded by family EMTs that tried for 2.5 hours to
yeah,
help him.
That's
So somebody called.
I
two
mean,
hours.
Yeah, that's what one of the news articles I read said, that they were there with him for 2.5 hours before they took him
it
out.
was.
That is an excessively long time
Yeah, it is.
on
Well,
some.
and
I
that's what made me wonder. I can't imagine having EMTs come to assist if it was an assisted death.
right.
But 2.5 hours, you're right, is a very long time.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's why
Yeah,
I'm
because there's severe brain damage
yeah.
after 8 minutes.
well, and maybe he wasn't gone. Maybe it was just wasn't stable enough to fly. They were trying to get
Well, I
him
know
stable
he.
enough
I
to
know.
fly.
Well, I know he's also suffered from He's suffered it now for years from Parkinson's
Yeah.
disease. And
Oh yeah,
that's also been in relation to all of his drug and alcohol abuse years. You know, that's so I knew that was going to happen. You know, that was going to catch up to him eventually.
well, the Parkinson
Okay, so
was very
mute.
evident when he was doing. Well, when the whole family was doing their reality show,
Hmm.
it was
Yeah,
evident.
the Osbournes.
Yeah, it was evident then.
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
watched an episode of that show for the very first time because after seeing the show, and this was still my personal favorite, when I saw the show The Osbournes Want to Believe, which I thought was great. It was funny to watch.
It
I
was.
decided to I decided to check out the original series and just to see what that one was like compared to the one from a few years ago. And while there were some similarities, obviously it was very different. And first off, it's hard to believe to see Jack, especially he's like only 16, 17 years old. He probably had no idea what his future was going to be like since he's doing a lot of the paranormal stuff nowadays. Like,
He was a chunky monkey.
he was. And it's just, and we just lost Adrian. Oh, wait, nope, she's back. She's back. Oh, I didn't do that. I didn't do that.
I was trying to bring her back in.
I was trying to bring her back in too. That's weird. Up, wait, up. He's back again.
Let's let her do it.
Yeah.
Let's let her do it.
All
Okay,
right,
so
there we
it
go.
resynced. Let's see if that fixes some of the issues.
What happened?
It all of a sudden it flashed black and said resyncing.
Resyncing?
Yep, it said resyncing, and then just a little bar going across.
I've never seen that on mine.
Never
I
seen
haven't
that
either. I haven't either. But Nick, please do your yell there.
Oh yeah, Pickle Tom.
There we go.
Because Tom's saying it's just not the same without it.
Lower your voice, Nicholas. Although I will admit,
I'm trying.
forward this time. Now, real quick, let's get off topic for a second. We have a birthday boy in the house.
Yes, we do. Yes, we
Yeah.
do.
The ninja himself, Scott. He's going to be 75 on Saturday.
No, he's not.
No, he's,
I was like, no, he's not.
no, he's not
I
that.
was going to say, geez, that's older than my mom.
Yeah, no, well, in all truth and honesty, he's not even the oldest person on the team. I think Michael has that.
Okay.
I think. I don't really know the ages of some of the others, but yeah, Saturday is Scott's birthday, and we are going to be investigating on. Okay, he's
He's
105,
105. So yeah, he does have the position then.
and we are going to be investigating one of our most favorite places on Saturday, and we are hoping that it's going to be cool. It's supposed to be raining. He was just telling us about that. It's supposed to be stormy. So hopefully the energy will be picking up while we're there.
Yeah.
And we even have a new face coming out, Genevieve. So she's really excited about this.
Good. She does understand she's going to be bait, right?
I haven't told her that yet, but
You may want to tell.
On the other hand, though, she said she was going to be bringing crystals and a few types of tools, pendulums and stuff of her own. So that might work out perfectly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I actually, I don't know about tonight, either later tonight or tomorrow, but when I get off after this, I actually got to call her to figure out what time she's going to be coming out because she lives a little bit further out. In fact, actually, she lives in the same area as Kate does in Naperville. So it is a little bit further away, but I got to talk to her either later tonight or tomorrow to find out when exactly she's going to be leaving. And I had to ask her, I did ask her the other day as far as like the hotel is concerned, because again, it's a further distance for her. I was going to ask her about, are you going to get a hotel or are you just going to drive back? It's going to be a long way. Well, before I even told her where we were staying, she says to me, yeah, I got a hotel room in Merrillville, Indiana. So it's clear that she's got the same hotel that a lot of us do.
Well,
Oh, so
get a hotel is in Maryland.
I got one with Tom. So
while we're on the subject of paranormal, so you all know that and I just got this news just a little bit ago. You all know that I volunteer for the Humane Society.
Yes.
Well, the Humane Society does this thing called Top Cat and Tails. And it's like a big gala that they do and silent auctions. So they were asking us volunteers if we had anything, if we know businesses or if we know something for silent auctions. So I emailed them. They said, you never know which one of our volunteers do things. So I emailed back with, so, I do tarot cards. I do crystal healing, Reiki, ghost hunting. I did not put in medium because I am not comfortable doing that in front of a crowd. Just not doing it. And especially somebody paying.
Be careful with that sometimes.
Yeah, and especially somebody paying and it being a business. I'm not doing that. But, all the rest of it perfectly fine. So I told him, we can put it out there for, I would give, do the crystal, the Reiki, the tarot, or do a like mini ghost hunting session or an educational session. And so they're putting that on the books for the silent auction. So that should be fun.
Chris said he's going back to the Abbey on August 2nd.
Yep. Nope. Not going. Nope. Mm-mm.
Yeah, well, it's going. I talked to Chris about that because he was sending me some pictures last week. Chris, last week
of the renovation.
We were talking about it like 2-3 weeks.
That's it. There was some renovation, and there was also pictures from another investigation that he was doing. The way that it sounds like this is going to be one of the final ones that they're doing because they are working on turning the Abbey into like an apartment complex.
Yes, unfortunately.
Yep, they can kiss my ass.
Yeah, Chris just said last time I get to go.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I am not completely pissed off about it because at least the building will still be standing.
Yeah, I know.
Because we thought that they were going to demolish it, especially after the damage that building took on a couple of years ago. We thought for sure the Abbey was coming down to the ground. Now it is not.
But the history of it is gone.
It just sucks when you have those type of locations. Like, yes, I'm glad that it is going to still stand, but the fact that they're going to now be converted into private residences, meaning that we no longer have access into those locations. It's really
rather have that than the building just be gone.
There was another famous hotel, another famous location in California that just did that too a few years ago. It was oh my God, the Cecil Hotel.
Cecil, yeah.
Yeah,
Can you imagine though? We were all there.
I never got to have the opportunity to go on. Oh wait, you're talking about the Abbey.
Yeah. Can you imagine these people that are moving in there blindly, not knowing what the hell's going on? I mean, we all know what Jan removed, which is
that's the other thing, not knowing what's going on or what else is lurking there.
Oh, we know what's left. That's the problem. Yeah. And it's I mean, you're not going to remove that because it belongs there. Whether it's nice, whether it's ugly, it belongs
It's
there.
not friendly to me. I know
And
that.
that, well, I think that's what she removed, if I'm not mistaken. But that thing that stunk like hell, it's still there. It ain't going anywhere. That thing's nasty.
I'm not sure if it was that same creature that
No,
I saw, that Jan and I saw up in the hallways.
no,
Maybe it is, but I don't know.
no, because this thing had a smell like
Okay.
somebody farted, and it was not. It it's not evil. It's
Yeah,
just trying to protect
yeah,
its stuff there.
Didn't you
yeah, the
call me,
creature we saw, there was no odor to it.
Adrian? Didn't you call me that night or
Oh
something?
yeah,
I
oh yeah,
remember you were telling me about it as it was happening.
yep,
I like what
yep.
Tim. It's not great, Tim. I like how Scott said. We will be called in. The people will get scared. That smell could have been from me. Taco night.
Uh, I think Scott did get tacos.
I think so too.
But it wasn't when you guys were there. It was when I had went
Oh
before
yeah,
that.
the first time you went.
Yeah, the first
Yeah,
time.
and
Yeah,
that
because
rake
it was
looking.
that time that you went. That was the catalyst for the rest of us going.
Yeah, yeah, and that was that rake looking thing coming up
Yeah,
over the door.
that's the creature that Jan and I saw that I was describing about. That thing was just. I'll never forget the size of it. That thing was huge, taller than me.
And I don't think that thing's evil. I think that thing is just lurking.
It probably is, but even if it's not evil, considering that it was like 8.5, 9 feet tall, it still was very intimidating.
Oh yeah, and that's what it intends to do.
Well, I was just going to say, just going back to what you were saying about the apartment. Yeah, because like I said, I just remember Cecil Hotel did that a few years ago in California. That's now been converted into private residences.
Yeah, and look at the Stanley. They've now went a different direction with the Stanley.
What do they do with the Stanley? Because I didn't hear any updates about that.
It sold to someone else, and I'm not even sure if they're doing the tours there anymore. But if they are, it's very very much commercialized,
Oh
and
no! I think I see where this is going.
Well,
it's just not the
get
same.
that out real quick.
So does that mean? So is it still a hotel? Well, it's still a hotel, then,
Still a
right?
hotel,
Well,
as
it'll
far as I know.
always be a hotel.
Well, I was
No,
gonna say.
I think they were talking about turning it into apartments.
Well, I guess that means if they do change it into apartments, I guess they won't have that 24-hour channel where they show The Shining, every anymore.
No.
Okay, hotel tours, daily tours,
And it's like I get it.
tour.
It's
Okay, we got the historic tours, Stanley Night tours, the Shining tour, Frozen Dead Guy tour, whatever that is.
Oh,
probably
that
something referenced to
frozen
Shining.
frozen is actually part of a thing they do in that town.
Okay,
I just think
they
to
are
myself, like, I understand the apartment, private, turning them into apartments is a better option than having it demolished. But let's be clear about things. I think the original, the actual Stanleys themselves, they probably never intended in their lifetime because they wanted to have this open for,
Yeah.
for the world at that time.
Well, and now we have the moose that are, it's that time of year for the moose to be coming. They're going into towns, but
Yeah.
they're always out there. But people are getting too close and too comfortable, and they're getting hurt.
Oh yeah, moose. They're contrary to popular belief. I mean, they're actually really dangerous. Not to mention they are
Sure.
huge. Yeah, they're like 7 feet tall.
Yeah, I mean, why would you get in their space? Would you
They're
get in a
very
wild
good.
bull space?
No.
No.
They're very territorial, and not only that, I heard they get extremely aggressive, especially when it comes to mating season. But the one thing I
Oh,
can't explain
yeah.
is the sheer size they are. Like, you get hit by one of those things, that's even worse than a deer.
There was an elk here in Greeley last week. Here in Greeley.
Really, wow.
And it was like a juvenile, like not very big. But it was crossing the
Yeah,
roads. No
that's pretty
herd.
far from where it's supposed to be.
Yes. No herd, no nothing with it. And it was crossing streets like it owned them. People about hit it. The wildlife and the cops tried to get it for like 3 days, and they finally sedated it and got it. Pissed me off that they put it in a horse trailer, which
Oh my
fine, you have to
god,
relocate it. I get it. But they had a blanket over its eyes or a shirt or I don't know.
that's
And
just not the right way to do it.
but everybody's standing next to it like, ha ha ha, look what I did. Get the thing where it belongs. Stop stressing it. You're not cool.
There's also been a video I saw. It was actually on a show from the Weather Channel, like, and this is dealing with adult moose. Where you had like two guys. They were probably like in their 20s or so. They're like riding a bike path, and one of them's got like a GoPro on, so he's recording everything in front of his,
Right?
including the buddy in front of him. And as they're riding, and they're just totally minding their own business, suddenly you see this huge moose that comes out of nowhere and almost just like boom, just like hits right in the bike into the guy in front of him. Thankfully, it wasn't a hugely severe hit, but man, they packed quite a punch. I mean, this guy could have really gotten hurt. I mean, it was quite
Yeah.
obvious. They ventured into its territory and it did not want visitors.
Okay, so they've changed directions on the Stanley. It does say, last I heard about it was last year. It says that a public private partnership, the Stanley Partnership for Art, Culture, and Education, has purchased the hotel with plans to expand and enhance its offerings. The hotel will be managed by a Denver based company and will also include a new film center focused on horror films.
Oh, really?
So I don't know. That could be good or bad. I don't know. But as long as they keep the history too, and they still tell the history of it.
Yes.
Yeah, because that place has got a lot of history.
Well, and you guys
Yeah.
remember I did an episode of Nick Files detailing the full history of the Stanley Hotel, which I remember, Jeremy. I believe that was among some of your favorite episodes when I was covering it. And
What, the Stanley?
yeah,
Oh, anything that's about the Stanley, that's something I'm going to be really paying attention to.
yeah, that was another successful series that I was doing. But I just hope the same thing. And I actually realized that the Stanley Hotel also did inspire some other hotels to kind of, kind of build in that same kind of architectural style that you see with some other turn of the century hotels. I forgot exactly which hotels modeled themselves after Stanley Hotel, but I do recall there was one in fact, all the way up in New Hampshire that modeled after the Stanley Hotel. It has a similar design. It even has the similar red and white colors to it. Which, funny enough, that hotel is also said to be haunted as well. But they modeled that after Stanley. I think in a way it was supposed to be meant to be kind of like the Stanley Hotel of the East Coast.
Well, Chip Coffey, hello. Chip
Yeah.
Coffey was saying that when he first went there, he was greeted by Mr. Stanley.
Well, I'm not surprised.
No, and he told him he's welcome there. So,
It
he
was,
he has no problem with it.
I mean, it was his hotel in his life, so he was here first before all of us were.
Yeah.
And along with his wife.
And Chip is someone I believe.
Yeah, I've met Chip a couple of times. He's a pretty nice guy, like when you actually meet him.
Yeah, he is. And he stays involved with all of us.
Yeah, he does. He does. Yeah, last time I saw him, in fact, was I think it might have been at the was he? No, I don't think he was. Oh, it might have been the one before. The last time I saw him was maybe about 3 years ago, I guess, when he was at the Michigan Paracon. But he's also been a frequent guest to us at the Parasite-Con in Ohio.
Yeah. Nice guy, from what I understand. I have not personally met him. I've talked to him on Facebook, but I have never personally met him. Chris, I don't know. I know they found a dead body in a house that somebody moved out of here in Greeley today. And they're investigating that. But, yeah. it was getting ready to go up for renovation. People went in to renovate and found the body. I'm going to say it's probably a vagrant, but I don't know.
Could have been a hiker or somebody.
Oh, no. Here in Greeley? What are you hiking?
Oh, no. I mean, he said, I thought it was referring to like up in the mountains or something.
No, here in Greeley, they found a dead body in a house today.
Oh, in a house. I thought it was referring to what Chris was saying about a moose attack.
Yeah, I don't know about that. It wouldn't surprise me at all because people are stupid.
I've seen them, but there was one time I was in Colorado when I was younger that we did see moose, but obviously difference with us was we saw them from afar up on a mountainside. So we were quite a distance away from them.
Was it moose or elk?
I think it was moose.
Okay.
I mean, I know sometimes they have kind of a little bit of a similar appearance, especially
their horns are different. Where the moose horns are bigger and connect.
Yep. Speaking of dogs, my sister's dog just briefly showed up.
I saw the shadow.
No, that was actually her. She's black in color. So, it was. I don't really remember fully much at the time because it was like 15, almost 20 years ago. But either way, they were still huge, in the back, even far back. They were big guys. There were probably about I think there were probably about 6, 7, or 8 of them together. So it was like kind of like a herd of them.
We see elk all the time where we go fishing, where Zach had his motorcycle accident. That's where we used to go fishing. This year, we haven't even bought a fishing license. We have been we spent everything that we've been saving to go on this trip because I don't take off for 5 days. That's just not something I do. So we saved everything to go do that. So we didn't get our fishing license. We didn't do none of that.
Jeez.
It's time. It's time to get it now if we don't have to fix the truck.
Yeah.
But okay, let's get back to
the topic. I mean, when is there a time we don't go off topic? But yeah.
I know, right?
So so Ozzy Osbourne was a very unique individual.
Oh, hey, Blake. Long time no see.
Yeah, no kidding. How you doing, Blake? Yeah, Ozzy Osbourne was a very unique individual, very innovative.
Okay, just in case somebody doesn't know, did you hear how, when we were, okay, let me back up. When I was younger, we used to hear about him biting bats' heads off and throwing them in the audience. Okay. Did you hear how that actually happened? He did. Did you hear that?
I've heard about it, but they've never really said. It's hard. Some people said he actually did it. Other occasions he did, and it's kind of like.
Let me tell you the real story. I didn't find this out until last week. He did, but he was at a concert. A kid and his brother the night before had found a bat. It was dead. The night before, it was dead.
Yeah.
They threw it up on the stage. He thought it was a Halloween prop. The rubber bats that they used to have.
Yeah, I got a couple of them.
He thought that's what it was when he did that. And then he felt we're not going to get gross, but he realized it was not fake.
Yeah.
And threw it out in the audience.
Well, obviously the taste would have told them immediately.
You'd think the smell would have, as long as it had been dead. But
just the feel of it. If it was a Halloween prop, it would feel a lot different, more rubbery.
That's
you're out there.
That's the ones I got. I got bat prop. The bat props I got are rubber.
Let's back up. You're Ozzy. You're on the stage.
This is Ozzy we're talking about.
Yeah, and he was on a lot of drugs and alcohol.
You're not sober. So feel is the last thing you're going to think about.
Yeah.
Now, he also bit the head off a dove. Okay.
I've never heard about that one.
Wait, bit the head off of what?
A dove.
A dove. Okay.
A dove. So he was in a meeting, and at the end of this meeting, when they did their contract, they were going to release doves. Okay. There was three of them, I believe. Um, and one of the doves died in the middle of this thing. And things were not going his way. And he got pissed off. And he wanted to end this meeting. And he didn't know how to do it other than be gross. So he bit the head off the dove in that meeting. Yeah.
Wow. So, as if the bat incident didn't solidify his legacy, the dove most certainly did.
But we
Yeah.
don't hear about the dove.
No,
We
I
never
was
hear
going to
about
say
the dove.
until now, I'd never heard about the dove. I just heard
I
about.
had not either until I started reading these documentaries. They're articles.
Wow.
And
Well,
his wife mentioned that too. They said, he is known for the bat and the dove. So that made me realize, okay, it's real. The article I read is true. But yeah, I had no idea. There was lots of things I really had no idea. I did know that he and Sharon went through a very, very rough patch with him cheating and
Yeah,
hitting her and different things, but she stuck by him.
she did, and that's the one thing I find truly amazing, that she actually still stuck with him even after everything that he did. And
Originally, it
he
was because
even
she was his
admitted
manager.
that he had put her through so many things that she should have left. He
Yep.
himself admitted that.
Yes, yes, he did. And she was his manager. That's why she didn't leave to
yeah, it's
begin with.
true.
And then, of course, her love for him, you could see. I mean, there was no doubt. And his too. He was just screwed up.
You
Well,
know,
there was a video that somebody posted today, um, a clip from that talk show that she was on. It was either the
He brought her
View,
flowers. Yes,
yes, and you can see it in her face, on
yes.
her face, that she loved this guy.
Oh, yeah,
Through
absolutely.
hell or high water, she loves this guy.
Yep.
and I can clearly tell, like when I watched an episode of The Osbournes, the first time I watched it, that although they swear like hell, obviously, like during the episodes and stuff like that. And
Oh,
in spite that, even though that he was probably still at times, at that time still doing drugs, at least as far as from what I've seen, correct me if I'm wrong, it was quite obvious to me that even if he still had the drug addiction and habit then, he at least kept that away when he was around his family. Because he knew
No, he didn't keep it away.
he didn't keep it away. Okay,
No,
that's why I'm saying correct me if I'm wrong.
he did not keep it away, but I don't know at what time he actually stopped. I don't know that. I think it transitioned from buying drugs and illegal drugs to drugs he was prescribed. And I think that happened when he had his back broken on
Yeah.
that
some
ATV.
drugs that you can buy or get
Hmm.
prescribed.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be even worse.
Oh, they absolutely they are. They yes.
And you could tell in his body, not just from that, but also from the Parkinson's that he had, that his body was completely messed up the way that he was shaking all the time. And also, at least for me, I couldn't understand a damn word he said on that show.
I
You
know.
couldn't, and that's when his Parkinson's really started coming out. And I will
Yeah.
be devil's advocate on this. There is no study, because I looked it up. There is no study that shows drugs or alcohol play a part in Parkinson's. Now, did he mess his body up? He absolutely
Yes, he
did,
did.
but it did not cause Parkinson's.
But yet somehow he was still able to manage to keep the singing voice as good as it was.
I
Yeah.
don't know how he. Well, let's look at Michael J. Fox. He can still talk just fine.
Well, talking is different from singing.
It is.
Right.
It
When
is.
when you're singing, you're using different parts of your vocal
Yep.
cords.
Who was that country singer? Roy Clark. If you were to speak to him, he stuttered. I mean, so bad that you could not. It took him 5 minutes to get a sentence out. But to
Roy
sing,
Clark.
Roy Clark, he was the most amazing. I watched him in concert. I actually got to see him in concert, and I would have never known he stuttered,
Oh,
except
he's
I got to hear him.
the guy on Hee Haw.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, I recognize him immediately.
Hmm.
There was also like one time I can recall, like I saw a clip of Ozzy doing this, like when when this was I think it was sometime in the early 2000s because I think he was obviously a little bit younger and he didn't have as much of the Parkinson's as he did later in life.
Right,
But
right.
there was a time like where he was I don't know exactly what year or where this was, but there was a clip of him where he's performing. I think he's with Black Sabbath, when he's performing, and he says literally to the audience that if any of you happen to have any illegal drugs on you, give them to me.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Now,
yeah,
I never liked that kind of music. That was not me. I was country. But obviously I knew who he was. Obviously I knew some of his songs because you can't help but hear them. Let's get real. I was raised in the 80s, so um, we knew. But his influence wasn't a part of what I did. I don't know how much he influenced others and
He
how much was known about what he did.
maybe not so much him specifically, but Black Sabbath as a whole,
Yeah.
yeah.
very influential because they were amongst
That's right. My God, Tom, you're right.
Mel, Mel
You're
Tillis.
absolutely
Yeah,
right. It was Mel Tillis that, and I got to see him too. It was Mel Tillis that stuttered, but he could sing like nobody's business.
it's funny, like all this.
Otter was a damn good singer too.
Yeah,
Oh,
Who?
here it is. It mentions it on the Wikipedia page. Additionally, he was known for his stutter, which did not affect his singing voice. Um, honestly, I don't think singing is affected by stutters.
I guess
right.
not. I honestly don't know how that works.
Like
Oh
I
my
said,
gosh.
you are using different parts of your vocal cords, and plus, when as a singer, you're supposed to be singing from your diaphragm.
Yeah, yeah. It's supposed to be from the diaphragm.
Yeah. Um, I don't know if it's that way all the time. Back in the time when I was singing, I don't recall um, actively trying to sing from my diaphragm because no,
Yeah,
I never learned it.
yeah. I've heard it, but I've never tried it. I just sing
Yeah,
to the radio and I'm good.
but the way that I understand it, that by singing from your diaphragm, that is what gets you the kind of delivery that you're able to get, especially for some of these that have just amazing voices. Somebody like Adam Lambert,
Yes.
his delivery and the different pitches that he's able to do is was amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Really.
Um, but Black Sabbath in general were very influential because they were amongst the first band to come out with this new sound, and all they had was just four members: a
Yeah.
guitar, a bass, drums, and the singer, and they were making heavy metal sound just from those three.
See, and this was even before because I thought of another band that I mean I know it's more heavy rock, but they still have some metal. Well, it did eventually become metal as time went on. This was even before like the Misfits were ever formed because with with Ozzy Osbourne and with Black Sabbath. I mean, they're. I mean, whether they I don't know exactly which year Black Sabbath began. I know it was sometime in the early '70s, but
It,
his music dates back as far. What's that?
it might have been 70. I'm going to check it
Okay, yeah, because
out. No, they were formed in 1968.
okay, yeah, that's kind of what I figured. They said, yeah,
Oh
their music,
my
yeah,
God.
yeah. They if it was 1968, then that means that like if you look at a band like the Misfits, they were that band wasn't even formed till almost like 10 years later in 1977.
Okay, two things I got to say. Y'all know Lauren Cole, right? You've seen her on Facebook.
Who?
Lauren Cole.
At first, I thought you were referring to Lauren Coleman,
No,
cryptozoologist,
no,
but
no,
no,
no, no, no, no,
no, I
Lauren.
know.
Anyway, she had posted a picture and she said, I posted this for 15 years. Nobody can do this. Post a picture of herself and said, if you can tell me something personal about myself, like the name of my childhood dog, this. I said, I can't do any of that. She said, I'll give you a prize. I said, I can't do any of that. I said, but what I can do is read your picture. And I gave her a little rundown. She said, you're the only one that's been able to do that. You get the prize. Awesome. And then
I still can't believe you tested me the way that you did, however many years ago it was, when you sent me that picture of your mother.
uh-huh.
Yeah,
And,
and I gave you an exact description of how she really was.
yep. Yep. It's amazing when we don't try, when we're not trying to prove something. Excuse me?
Don't worry about that. Yeah.
When we don't try.
Whenever something like that pops up, just ignore it.
Yep, Jeremy's told me that, and I've been ignoring it ever since.
Good job, Nick.
I have a listening problem. I don't listen very well. No, when you don't try, when you're obviously not, you have time to do it. You can try as,
You're freezing again,
Freezing-
Adrian.
You're freezing up again.
oh my God. Hold on. We're going to do this again.
Okay, she's going to disappear, then come back.
I'm going to try.
Do it again, then come back.
Not touching anything because I know you said you're going to have her come back herself.
No, I was going to let her add herself back on the stream.
Right.
That's what I was saying.
All right, she's back.
Is it going to work?
Maybe.
Hopefully.
I don't know what the hell's going on with it. It's got to be the storms and the water we've got.
But
But
you just said that you had storms, hail, which I'm kind of surprised by,
Yeah.
being that it's almost August.
us too.
I mean,
But
it is
yeah,
still the height of It is still the height of summer.
I'm willing to bet I can send a picture to Nick and tell him, give me your first thoughts. Don't think. Give me your first thoughts. And he can do it. Anybody can do it. If
Yeah, I'm
they
pretty good
can
at that.
just close off, know they're not on the spot, and do it.
It might work, Nick, because she did it to me, and I passed with flying colors.
Absolutely. Come to find out, I always thought my daughter looked like my mom. I saw a picture of my grandma. I'm a little confused at this point. I don't know who the hell she looks like. She looks like one of my grandmas or mom or somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. What
I don't
the
know how much. I don't
what
know.
formed in 68? What?
Yeah, that
Black Sabbath.
about Black Sabbath. They
Oh.
formed in
He was trying to say they formed in '68.
Okay, so we've done Ozzy. He was amazing. Yeah, he has
Yeah.
made his mark on the world. I give him all props for that.
I just want to say real quick, even though I listen to like a lot of the heavy metal, I mean, yes, I like listening to all these music too, but I'm also like into like when I go to the Paracon after parties and we're
Oh yes, we have seen.
yeah, I
We
know
have
I do
seen.
mostly metal music. I love that stuff, But it's surprising. I didn't really listen to a lot of Ozzy Osbourne or Black Sabbath. It was, like I said, as crazy as it's going to sound, it was only after I started watching the Osbournes Want to Believe was when I started becoming a fan in his work, and that's kind of when I started expanding more.
It's after your era, I promise you.
Yes, I know it. I know.
Everything is after his era.
Well,
Yeah.
and because I didn't. I mean, I wasn't that big into him at first because again of like all the stories
Hold
involving his drug and alcohol habits.
Hold on. Good night, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Get that back up. Drink a Sprite or something.
Peanut butter, orange juice now.
Yeah.
So
when my dad's blood sugar is dropping, he drinks a can of Sprite, and in about 20 minutes, it comes right back up.
Right, but something's got to keep it there. So you got to have some peanut butter to keep it there, or orange juice. Orange juice to get it fast, which Sprite will do it too.
Yeah.
And then peanut butter or bread to keep it there a little longer.
Okay, I'll say something to him about the peanut butter.
And then if he likes them, carrots will do a little long term as well.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure he likes carrots.
My daughter was diabetic, and we learned some tricks from hell. But okay, so let's skim over.
Hold on. Before we move off from Ozzy, I want to ask a question for everybody, and for everybody in the audience, please chime in as well. When you think of Ozzy Osbourne, whether it is his solo career or his part in Black Sabbath, what is the one song that comes to mind when you think about Ozzy?
Now it's Mama, I'm Coming Home, because that was the last thing he played.
I really, like I said, I never really listened to it, surprisingly, despite that I listened to a lot of that music. So I can't really say for sure. So I'm going to have to go back and listen to some of his songs and then make a choice then. But I will point out that was when he died, it was like just like a few weeks after he had his farewell concert.
Well, they made it a point to say that was his funeral.
That's what someone else told. And that's what I was about to get to was it was essentially like his funeral for the fans.
He said it. He said that this was his funeral. He wanted to make it as his funeral.
So how many people get the opportunity to do something like that?
Not many. I mean,
hardly anybody I've ever heard of.
It may have been a huge crowd, but that's pretty small when you get to experience something like that.
But look where he was.
Yeah, they
was back where he lived.
They had to bring him to that chair so that he could do his performance.
He was pissed that they strapped him to that chair because he tried to stand up. He wanted to stand up, and if you see one of the videos, he looks over and said, "Let me fucking stand." And they couldn't.
Yeah, because he clearly was, whether he knew it or not, it seemed like everybody else just knew that the end was that the end was near for him.
He absolutely knew. And there was a video today that somebody showed that said, "Oh, Paranoid?" Okay.
That was actually the very last song he performed.
Was it?
One?
Yeah.
Which one?
Because when he did his solo thing first, he did a two-parter.
Mm-hmm.
He did 5 songs solo. I Don't Know, Mr. Crowley, Suicide Solution, Mama, I'm Coming Home, and Crazy Train. And then Black Sabbath came out, and they did War Pigs, NIB, Iron Man, and Paranoid. So that was actually the very last song he did.
Yeah, so there was a video came out today. Or I don't know when it came out. I saw it today. I'm usually a week behind, but there was something that came out today that they said this was his planned funeral. Then there was a backstage video that came out. Of course, his daughter getting engaged. That was on purpose. And that's why I thought this was part of the assisted, but that was all planned by the fiance. And then he was doing a little special, one-on-one with the camera dude, whoever did it, that said, I've spent years hurting, and I've also spent years saying that I want to do this last concert. I promised I would, and I've lived for this. And I didn't think I was going to get to do it. I have taken enough drugs tonight to be able to do this. And he's not saying illicit drugs. He's just talking about his prescribed drugs. And he said, I've taken so much crap
Like,
tonight to be able to do this.
taken drugs to do this?
Mm-hmm.
Now, there was a video I saw that said the opposite, that he stopped taking the drugs so that he could be lucid enough to do the concert.
Now, it may have been, people do, this is just the one I saw. People will construe it. So I don't know which one's real. I don't know, but
These days lately, it's hard to tell because
yeah,
people are getting so good at creating AI videos.
right. And
Yeah.
that's why I don't like AI.
Yeah, it is so pissy.
We don't know what's real. We
Well,
really don't.
that leads to the question. I know this was also AI too, and I shared it, but what did you guys think of those pictures that they were showing of Ozzy like in heaven with all the other music stars though?
Something like that, I don't have a problem with.
That's a nice tribute. I mean,
It is. I really, I don't know if you saw him, Adrian. It was,
yeah,
Ozzy in heaven with all the past music stars that have died. Some of which, truth be told, died way too soon.
there was also one. There was one of a picture of the devil.
Oh yeah, I saw
Ozzy coming in and said, "Prince of Darkness is here. You can leave now."
I didn't see that one.
Oh, I heard about it, but I didn't get to see it yet.
Little Miss Kate here is bouncing back and forth between Facebook and YouTube.
Okay, you explain the butter on the Pop-Tart. I need a drink.
Okay, this is a constant joke.
Do you really? Well, actually, you're not going to know about this thing. So.
Okay, this is a constant joke that goes on between me and Kate and Tom and Robert too. Butter on a Pop-Tart. It's referencing Family Guy when Peter and Quagmire were singing like kind of Simon and Garfunkel style, and they did a song that was called "Have You Ever Had Butter on a Pop-Tart? It's so freaking good. If you haven't had butter on a Pop-Tart, I think you really should."
Why does that not surprise me coming from Family Guy? How they're able to keep that show on the air is beyond me.
It's been on now for over 25 years. It's unbelievable.
I know that, but holy cow, some of the boundaries that they are pushing.
Yeah, I know. Well, you know what's actually really funny about. I mean, even most people don't know it, but I'm gonna just say real quick, as I like to go back and what we were talking about. But Family Guy actually started off as two small animated specials that were made back in the mid '90s. And what's funny is, unlike the later series, these were meant to actually be like family friendly, like for kids. And I was actually fortunate enough to find those two pilots on YouTube. In fact, I still remember watching one of those pilots back in the day when it used to be on Cartoon Network, because the official series didn't start till '99. This pilot that I watched was from 1996, and it's just it's funny. I mean, it's still the exact same voices, but even the characters look a little bit different. But it's like, geez, now you can get the idea of like where they eventually decided to take it one step further with Family Guy.
I have a Stanley.
Have a Stanley and a back scratcher. Yep. Yeah, I know, Kate. I know that all too well. Hey, what's up, Nikki? Good to see you.
Kate, explain the Stanley thing. I'm kind of lost there.
I also wanted to go back to what she said too. He was amazing. He did the concert in Birmingham, UK. Back to his roots. Oh yeah, that's right. He was from Birmingham in the UK originally. British heavy metal legend and icon. Oh yeah, the cup, the flask, and Stanley. Hey, look, Braxton's here. What's up?
I wondered where you are, bub.
Yeah, it said Google Stanley Cup, Jeremy. But did you hear all that when I was explaining, Adrian? Because you kind of left while I was explaining about the butter on a Pop Tart.
Yes, I did hear it. You will not catch me putting any more shit on a Pop Tart than is already there. There's sugar, there's grease, there's more sugar inside. No.
See, I would show the clip, but unfortunately, because it's Family Guy, it's copyright, so you can get the idea of what I'm talking about. But that's where it came from. If you ever had butter on a Pop Tart,
Right.
Well, I'm going to be doing away with the copyright at the end of this show because
yeah, I know.
I'll be playing music videos when we wrap up. Kate, Nikki, and Braxton, since you guys joined us after I asked this question, I had asked Adrian and Nick. When you think about Ozzy Osbourne, the I have a tumbler, but I don't have a Stanley Cup. And I have a flask that Eileen gave me. But I did Google Stanley Cup, and the Stanley Cups are sort of like the tumbler that I got, but they got the handles on 'em. I don't have that.
Every time I think of the Stanley Cup, I just think of the one like the Blackhawk, the Chicago Blackhawks had one in the past.
Uh-oh, Adrian's freezing up again.
Frozen again.
So,
Yep, there she goes.
so anyway, Kate, Braxton, Nikki, when you think of Ozzy Osbourne, it can either be his solo career or it can be from his songs with Black Sabbath. What song do you think most when you think of Ozzy Osbourne? For me, it's Dreamer.
See, now that I think about it too, I mean, considering Kate's from the UK, I'm sure she knows a lot of his songs too. So she probably knows. You know what? I actually take back from what I said because when you said Crazy Train, I was actually just looking that up. I'm thinking, wait, is it the Crazy Train song that I knew? And so I just played it briefly, like with my earbud, and then I recognized it. So, okay, so I take part of what I said back then. I have heard Crazy Train.
My thing just did that again, and then it said allocating resources. And then it said rebuffering studio. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Oh, it's freezing up again.
It does it again.
Yeah.
Paranoid seems to be the most popular, but I think that's probably their Black Sabbath's most famous song.
Yeah, it's like their iconic song.
Yeah, it's between Paranoid and Iron Man.
Well, Kate says that's her dad's favorite. And then she also said War Pigs, iconic riff.
That was actually supposed to be the name of the album, Paranoid.
Oh, really? Okay.
That was originally going to be titled War Pigs, but they changed it to Paranoid because they were worried that War Pigs might end up being offensive. But they kept the cover, which had a pig on it.
What year was that released?
That one was out in 1970.
Okay, well, I can understand that. If it was 1970, that would make sense because that was when the Vietnam War was still going on.
Yeah, that was 1970. Braxton said, "Take what you want from me." I am not familiar with that one. And for me, my favorite Ozzy song is "Dreamer." That came out in the early 2000s.
So what are his more recent
Braxton,
songs?
if you don't mind, how old are you?
He's got to at least be in his 20s.
Yeah. Or very cultured, one of the two. Okay, so
Braxton did Mention another person who died this week, though his name is Malcolm Jamal Warner, not Mike.
Yeah, he was on the
Okay,
Cosby.
yes.
He was on the
Now,
Cosby Show.
Yeah. Uh,
I grew up.
Oh,
He
you,
was
you're,
like,
you
you're freezing again.
yeah, you're breaking up again.
let's see if it
Oh,
kicks me out again.
oh, wait.
Well,
You're
you,
sound.
It might kick me out again. I don't know.
I'm
This
going to
shit
be
has
honest.
been ridiculous tonight. But yeah, Malcolm was like a brother. I grew up on the Cosby Show.
See, I never watched the Cosby Show, so I don't know anybody from that show except for Bill Cosby himself. So when people kept saying, posting that Theo was dead, I had no clue who they were talking about.
Right. There was only
I
one.
grew up. I grew up with, the Kirk Cameron Cosby Show.
Oh, Tom.
I thought they were family to me. That was my.
Oh,
From what I.
Yeah, you're freezing it.
you're freezing up again. Tom, you never told me you saw. You never told me you saw Black Sabbath back in 1975.
Well, that's because it's before you were born.
I know, but considering all the years I've known him, he's never told me that.
That was before I was born.
Though that was the
Yeah.
year when Tom
Keep
Pickle
bragging,
Tom
you
was born.
two. Keep bragging.
Just wait till you get to my age, Nick. You're going to have a lot of
Yes.
hair just
Oh, don't remind me. But what I was going to say about Cosby. I still recall. I think there was only ever one time I think I ever watched the Cosby Show, and funny enough too, I actually watched it when my family and I used to go to Copper Mountain in Colorado many years ago, and at that time, obviously, because we just had kind of like basic cable and stuff, there wasn't really too much there wasn't very much to watch on TV that night. And so I don't remember which channel it was, but we were watching the Cosby Show that night because it was the only thing we could watch. And, I still remember, I mean, it was a good show at the time we watched it, but I don't think we ever really watched it again afterwards. It was like a full-on marathon of the Cosby Show for some reason.
Yeah. Braxton is practically your age.
Oh, he's in his 20s, the youngest.
No. Read on. He says
Plenty of people believe I'm in my 20s. Youngest someone thought I was 16, 17, 23 to 24, but I'll be 32. Wow. Okay.
He's
I'll take it back. Yeah, he's my age then.
there with you.
That
Why
means
am I
he
not
was,
seeing the comments? What the
that
hell?
means he was born the same year I was in 1993.
You're not seeing the comments?
I'm not seeing
Did
his
you have the
comment.
right tab selected?
Yeah, I see the last comment I see is Tom.
Well, that's odd.
Yes.
This is the first time that this has met for me, so I'll take it. It's
Yeah,
fine.
it's been a very long time since you've frozen up like this on a regular basis.
Yep.
Yeah.
It may have something to do with the storm that just blew through.
Probably.
And the flood we got over where the wires are coming in, yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So moving on to the next one. This one hit me really hard because of my personal connection with professional wrestling. Hulk Hogan passed away this morning due to a heart attack. He was 71 years old. And
You're older than my mom.
She's gonna hurt you.
No, I said that to her, and she literally said to me, she literally said to me, "That's young in my book."
But don't compare her. That hurts people's feelings.
No,
Do not do that.
I didn't. No, I didn't even say I wasn't trying to joke with her on that. It was just like that's what she responded with me.
I know. Don't just
Okay.
don't do it.
Hey, Braxton, wait till you start getting gray hair, and then people will stop asking you for your ID.
I've already gotten some of those gray hairs already. You can't
My
see it
son
like
had him
you
at
People
21.
will be asking you for your ID.
yeah, yeah, I know. Even with the small few
Yeah.
gray hairs I have, yep, still being asked for my ID nonetheless.
So,
I,
Anyways,
I'm asked for mine at 51, so don't. It's a law.
so Hulk Hogan, he's somebody who transcended professional wrestling. But before he came around, wrestling was all just
and we just lost Hadrian again.
wow. Oh, I do remember hearing about the Huxtables.
I didn't hear anything about that.
Yeah. So so before Hulk Hogan came around, all of wrestling was just little bitty like districts. They had a region of like states. That's where they wrestled. Sometimes like if you were a world champion, then you would go from territory to territory to territory. Work with the other guys. That's what Ric Flair did. Harley Race. Um, so with Hulk Hogan, he became the first true superstar in wrestling, and it helped the World Wrestling Federation become a global company instead of just a regional company based in New York. Um, it's really because of him that professional wrestling is in the state that it's in now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, along with Vince McMahon, got to give him credit.
Yeah, yeah.
So he has had a complicated life after retiring from actually wrestling. Uh, some people didn't agree with certain things, other people did. Some, like me, I don't care about his views. I really don't. I don't care who he supported, who he didn't support. I don't. I just cared about the wrestling aspect of him. His personal life is his personal life. Nobody else's business, although he got outed, which, you know, that happens. But he became the very, and I believe still the only wrestler to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated. That's the kind of impact he had. Um, but yeah, his death hit me harder than most celebrity deaths because of what I grew up with.
Right.
Just the same as Ozzy's death hit a lot of people really hard because his music touched millions of people.
Yeah.
And and for me, it's the same way with Hulk Hogan because what he represented back in the '80s and the '90s was the best.
Well, I know he also, and I mentioned this, earlier today, that he also did have a brief music career, like in the late '70s, and also in the early '90s. With that album you were showing, the early '90s too. But
Yep.
he even,
He,
yeah, that one, which he
right.
also did have. He also did have a brief movie career because he even went as far as to appearing in one of the Rocky movies.
That's the one I forgot to. Oh, and the other one, yeah. His first movie was in Rocky 3.
Yeah, my dad told me about it earlier today, but I didn't know which Rocky movie he was referring to.
Yeah, it was Rocky 3 because it was Rocky and Apollo in the first one, and then Mr. T in the second one.
Oh, he was in. Oh, I thought he was just in one. I didn't know he was in two of them.
No, Mr. T was in the
Oh,
second.
Mr. T was in. Okay, yeah. Okay, I take it back then. Yep. Okay.
And then Hulk Hogan in the third one. That was what got him noticed to go to the WWF and become the big star that he was because of that movie.
Right.
And then um, in '89 he released another movie called No Holds Barred, which I forgot to grab. But there were other movies that he did. That
There goes Adrian yet again.
I Adrian, stay put.
I don't know what the hell happens. It just goes black.
Jeremy, it's just like when we used to use StreamYard when I used to be upstairs and you were always like, go to the basement.
I
Oh yeah,
This is new.
yeah.
This is completely new.
So a month ago, I decided to go after all of Hulk Hogan's movies because they're rare. And I've had to find these things in some pretty outrageous places. And I found this. Mr. Nanny and Suburban Commando are probably his two most famous, aside from No Holds Barred. He did Santa with Muscles. He also did Secret Agent Club. And he also, now this one here I had for a long time, but he also had a TV series called Thunder in Paradise. Now, last month, I just had this notion about wanting to go and get all of his movies on DVD because I have wanted them for years. And I finally decided to go after them. And now, a month later, he's dead.
Yeah.
So, Adrian, I kind of want you to chime in on that one because I know you're going to attribute that to I had this feeling.
You know, I'm going to agree. You probably did because you've never mentioned this. You've never mentioned Hulk Hogan other than your shows that
The one,
your wrestling shows.
the one I do with Donald.
Yeah. Um, there was a man that made a lot of sense. Anybody who deals with death, whether hospital or nursing home, whatever, deals with death, knows they come in threes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we had the two. The last one, this guy on TikTok, he was like, anybody checked on Dolly Parton because she's sick?
Yeah, I heard about that.
I,
Yep.
I haven't heard
And
anything about that.
I don't know how much of that is real and how much of that is AI bullshit.
Well, she did lose her husband about 6, 7 months ago.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah,
unfortunately, yeah, she's an icon. Yes, we think boobies, Nick. If you don't know who Dolly Parton is, look it up.
I think that name
I
sounds
don't
familiar,
see
so I'll have to go back and relook.
I
no,
bet it does sound familiar because she's got okay, it goes up to G. She's probably got I cup. I don't know. Um,
yeah,
but
she's big.
the woman is amazing. As far as her culture,
Uh-oh. Speaking of which, here's Brad.
I know Brad knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Brad, please tell me you know who Dolly Parton
Um, Dolly Parton is.
is. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I would almost say that
Oh
Hogan
my God,
was.
Jolene! Thank you. I'm gonna have that stuck in my head the rest of the frickin' night.
I would say Hogan was actually number 3.
He
because
was. He was.
yeah,
He was.
because a lot of people are saying that Malcolm was like a huge star. I had never heard of him, but that doesn't mean he wasn't a big star.
Right, right. Um, Dolly Parton actually, a lot like Barbara Mandrell or um, a lot of them back then grew up very poor.
Hey,
Their
Paul.
fathers were cleaners, and they were they made it themselves. But her husband was never rich. He was never, I mean, other than her, he was never in the spotlight. He never went to anything she did. He was just kind of there. They lived their personal life. But my ex father in law got to see her when she was playing bars, like nasty dives. And her boob cup was A. I'm talking, she had nothing. I don't know at what point she got this, but later her thing was her boobs. Um, she is an amazing person as far as charity work, like he said. Um, she has a park right now. Her old home is up for people.
Today didn't solidify his legacy. The dub most certainly did. I got tagged in a comment. I didn't realize it was in the video.
I see that.
And now Nick is gone.
Loretta Lynn, yes, Loretta Lynn and her coal miner daughter, and you know, these people were all in that era. They were all friends. They were all. But I understand Loretta, and Loretta is gone, but Dolly being sick, I get that. She's way older, and they expected her to be next.
Wow.
Um,
Let's see here. Dolly Parton, she's
Seems
only
like the show's really hating us.
one of my crushes was Dolly Parton's. They say that he was her lover. I don't know. I don't know what happened behind the scenes, but Rogers.
put the keyboard down.
Huh?
I'm telling Nick to put the keyboard down.
I was trying. I know. I only had it in my arm because I was trying to figure out what was going on.
You disappeared. That's what.
No, the computer got frozen. It got frozen for some reason.
All the destinations have disappeared.
Oh
What?
my God, Brad! Really?
What the hell?
Oh wow!
Loretta Lynn was amazing.
He was, yeah.
Back then, they were genuine because not only their personal life went into their career, they sang about what they knew, which was absolutely amazing. Kenny Rogers was
that was a hard one when he died.
Jeremy, I don't know if you looked. I just opened the second page of EVMux just to go onto the dashboard. And as of right now, they're still saying they are broadcasting on the destination.
Okay, well, it's just that the icons of everything disappeared at the top of the page on my.
Yeah, I don't check on.
Just the red.
The
Any of them. It doesn't matter.
all right, let me take a moment.
This is really weird.
It really is. It says, yeah, we're like, I checked Facebook. It says we're still broadcasting.
Yeah, well,
We are.
it says we still are live. It's just that everything disappeared.
No, that's really weird.
It did for me too.
Well,
as long as it's broadcasting, that's all that matters then.
Yeah.
But you were saying though about Loretta Lynn. Sorry, Adrian.
No, Loretta Lynn, Dolly Parton, all of them back then. they were genuine because their real lives went into their career because there was none of this AI bullshit. There was none of this hiding.
No.
You, everything was out in the open.
Well, I think we talked about this previously. What I mean, I don't really listen to a lot of Loretta Lynn, but I do have a favorite of mine, and I know what some people would think otherwise. But of course, obviously, it's I also see it in a different view as her song "This Haunted House," which was
Yeah.
which was made in honor of Dolly Parton, who recently passed. Then.
Dolly Parton has not passed.
It has not passed.
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, not Dolly Parton. I'm thinking of her other friend.
Oh, her. Yeah.
Oh my God, what was her? What
Her
was
best friend.
her
I'll-
best friend?
I will look it up. You keep your hands off that keyboard.
I was just about to type that too.
Yeah, you keep your hands off that keyboard. We don't want you to do it again.
But yeah, so she's close. I mean, we understand she's probably next in celebrity world.
Did
But
you look, Jeremy? Because I actually looked on my phone.
it really depends on
Okay,
what
that's
era
okay.
we were in and what has influenced our lives. Anything country has influenced my life.
Yeah.
I actually met Garth Brooks.
Oh, Garth Brooks. Okay.
I don't have anything good to say about him, but I met him. The Steel Cowboy. There's lots of them that have died. Like one of them went through 2 livers because he wouldn't stop drinking. But there were so many that I actually got to meet that I know their real personalities. And, one of them was, Toby Keith.
Oh yeah, that was another. He was so.
Yeah.
Do you have?
You know, it's funny, Adrian. I was just thinking. I was just thinking this, but like, since you brought up about Garth Brooks, I still remember this even after almost 20 years later. But when I was younger, I mean, before I started getting into like a lot of the metal stuff, I mean, I used to be into like a lot of the other type of pop music or whatever we had in the early 2000s, which unfortunately that included like a lot of the rap and hip hop. I mean, I was just at that time I was just trying to join in what everybody else was listening to, and I still remember like I know I told you guys about the issues I had with with the AIDS I had at school. They didn't like what I was listening to compared to other kids. It's like they didn't give a crap. They wanted me to listen to more appropriate music, and then they actually tried to encourage me to listen to this album, which I think you're going to know this album immediately. Even I knew the truth behind this album. It was with some Chris Gates album. I was like, isn't that kind of a little bit extreme? And it's like
Chris Gates?
Chris Gates or whatever the hell his last name is, but it's
You
like
talking about Garth Brooks' alter ego?
yeah, no, that's what I was about. That's
It
what I was
wasn't
about
Garth-
to get to. Like,
no, it wasn't Chris Gates.
It's like
Well,
it's like
they
they thought it for
why
some
that
reason.
album was produced the way that it was.
Well, no, what I was going to say, it's like they wanted me to listen to it because it's like they wanted me to hear a song or two because they thought it was more appropriate. But even I knew back then, I thought
No.
it's kind of extreme. And not to mention that even I said, oh, come on, you got to be kidding me. That's nothing but Garth Brooks in a wig.
Right.
Yeah,
And that was Chris Gaines.
Chris Gaines, that's what it was.
yeah.
And that was when he was going through his divorce. And so I got to meet his mom and dad. His
Yeah.
real mom and dad. Okay. His mom told him, "Don't you ever forget you're nothing except a fat boy from fucking Oklahoma. Lower yourself." Because he was an absolute asshole.
The story behind the Chris Gaines album was that it was supposed to serve as a soundtrack for a movie that Garth Brooks was going to be acting in as the character Chris Gaines.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's but for whatever reason, the movie either didn't get made or they scrapped it. But he had already had this album made,
Mm-hmm.
so he thought, put it out.
Yeah, and that's what
He's
some
an
of my
asshole.
yeah, and that's what some of my aides at the time were trying to get me. But it's like they didn't think I was going to know, but I knew even back then who Chris Gaines really was. It's like, it's funny. I think even Family Guy even joked that it was almost like the exact same situation. It's like I think I even said the same stuff too. It's like I said the same thing. It's
Yeah.
like, dude, that album is nothing but Garth Brooks in a wig. That's all it is.
Nick,
Yeah,
look at the three screens.
the three screens.
Yes. What do you see different?
Holy shit, what's going on?
What am I looking at?
Where's your name?
What you're not seeing? Your name's not there.
Well, that's weird. My name is here on my side.
It's not on our side. Look at it through our page.
Yeah, it's missing on the page.
I don't know what's going on with
It
you.
is.
This is acting
Tonight,
strange.
tonight is crazy with this.
Oh,
really
yeah.
is.
Wow. What the hell? Why is it not showing up? I
don't know.
I put it full name on.
But it's showing up on your end.
Yeah, it is. I don't know why it's not showing up on
Well,
everybody else's end.
edit it and see if that changes. So, okay, I'm actually kind of surprised we made it this long because
Yeah.
I wasn't really sure if I was going to be able to make it through because today,
Okay. Can you guys see it now?
yep, I see
Yep.
it. 'Cause today really whipped my ass with the heat outside.
It's the roses. Don't start, Brad.
Hey, Brad, can you spell Illinois?
I gotta just point out what Braxton said. Green Day, Corn, Smash Mouth back in the day. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the guy from Smash Mouth passed away a couple years ago too.
Yeah,
That was a shame.
No, it was like a year ago he passed away. It's funny. I actually,
Oh, was it that recently?
I wouldn't know.
well, and I tagged you guys in it earlier, like a couple of weeks ago for 4th of July. I tagged you guys in that 4th of July song that Smash Mouth made. That was just only 3 years before that guy passed away. Although surprisingly, he wasn't part of that recording. They found a guy that just sounded literally sounded just like the original lead singer of that band. And I just love how they made they gave it that 90s sound. So like it actually was made back in the 90s.
Wow.
That was, even though it's a 4th of July song to begin with, you gotta admit, that song was really awesome. And it really gave that nostalgic feel to it. So kudos for that.
It was a unique song because I was reading the lyrics and I'm thinking this almost has nothing to do with 4th of July.
Yeah.
But then you got to listen further to it. So, but I also like how they threw in even a few 90s references because like there's a lyric that goes like, "Listen to Only Shallow" by My Bloody Valentine. That's the that's one of my that's like one of my favorites.
That I sent to the Fear Fans chat a few weeks ago.
No, I didn't see it.
I love the 80s.
Oh yeah, okay. Wait, what? Brad?
Kenna?
Two world celebrities dying. We just lost our baby girl. Screw this. What? Wait. What?
Yeah.
Brad,
Let's
back up. What?
Let's back up on that.
I don't want to.
There's something we don't know, dude.
I don't want to be hearing that.
What? No. Wait. I'm lost.
Kind of lost too.
Oh,
dog.
Okay.
What happened? So the one I was trying to think of was Chris Ledoux.
Chris Ledoux. Okay.
The original cowboy.
Oh, okay, yeah, I do remember him.
I got to meet him. What happened to your dog, Brad?
What happened?
Oh, that reminds me. She got sick.
Got sick, had to
Oh,
put her
wow.
down. How old was she, Brad?
I'm sorry, sweetheart.
Yeah.
That is family.
Well,
Yeah.
Speaking of pets, we need to mention this. Jenny's.
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah,
He's dog.
Brad just messaged me saying the chat tonight is there's something weird going on with this show.
18. Wow. Check that out, though.
Oh, wow.
That's a long.
Yeah, they're
That's
good.
how
Listen,
long,
I
that's
will
how
admit,
old our
God,
poodle is.
I was going to say, God bless her for being able to live for so long.
Absolutely.
So Brad, this show has been weird tonight. Adrian has been in and out like 5 times today,
No, more than 5 times.
close to it. Nick's name, for whatever reason, decided to disappear. I've lost all of my destination icons.
Yeah, we're still broadcasting on them.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Okay, so here's what's going to happen. I want all three of us to pay attention. Whatever's going on is going to be a message to one of us. Pay attention to your dreams.
Yeah.
Pay attention to what you see, what you hear, synchronicities. Pay attention.
See, Ozzy's death has caused a disturbance in the force.
I don't doubt it. I really don't doubt it.
I can buy that.
He's not as evil as people say he is.
No.
He was never. Okay, yes, he did bad things. Which one of us didn't?
He just,
his Prince of Darkness, character was always for the performances. I mean, let's face it. I mean, let's face it. It's really no different than, like, believe it or not, even like what I do when I do my Scary Stories host character. Some people may look at it that it looks like I'm the satanic performer, performing dark magic and stuff, when in reality I'm just acting. I'm not actually, in fact, I didn't even tell you.
Right, but today we can understand that. Back in the 60s and 70s, they didn't understand.
Well, yeah,
no, absolutely not.
Yeah, oh yeah, back then
they said the same thing about Alice Cooper.
Yeah,
same with Alice Cooper, same thing.
So it was very hard for people at that time to understand the difference between the human being and the character that they were portraying. It's no different. No different from how it is in professional wrestling back then.
Yeah.
That's right.
Nick, I already did that. Brad, I already did that.
Yeah.
Get back. Go. No, go lay down.
Brad, Jeremy already did that, and he traumatized me for that. So thank you, Jeremy.
Brad, please do it. Do it again. Do it again.
I have a way of traumatizing people with my words.
God, Braxton, I would swear you are older because, the same things I do. You must have had some hellacious parents. Props to them.
Speaking of celebrities, deaths, and whatever, I mean, not in the case with Alice Cooper and Ozzy Osbourne, but because I wanted to bring this up real quick before we end tonight. I didn't know, because Chris mentioned this in the Fear Fans chat earlier today, Jeremy, but I also didn't know that almost 10 days ago, we also lost another singer. I mean, not in the metal sense, Connie Francis. I didn't know she passed away recently.
I don't know who that is.
No clue who that is. I seen the list, and the other three names that were on there. So
Connie Francis, she was a if you want to call pop star, back in the day, she was a successful singer and actress back in the late 1950s and early 60s.
Okay.
And she had a lot of big hits. In fact, by the
Oh my
time
God, I can say that's before my time.
well, by the time she died, she was actually considered one of the best music selling artists in history. And when you look at her pictures, which I have to admit, she was, just for her appearance, I loved when she was always photographed in these beautiful black and white pictures of her when she was younger. And she did songs like, maybe you probably may have heard some of them. There was like Where the Boys Are, Who's Sorry Now, and which other song am I'm thinking of one other one. I think it was from 1958, but I forgot the name of it. But she did.
Here we go, Adrian.
Please handle it before I do.
Okay, so Brad, real quick, with the three of us have actually talked about that guy before the show. We had decided to not talk about him or even mention his name because we don't want to do any promotion for him. And the reason I say that is there were a lot of people over the last couple of days posting about him with Ozzy Osbourne. But the problem is, every time you post about him, then that's going to entice people, intrigue him to go to his pages and check him out. Therefore, giving him more views, and more views leads to more revenue for him. So that's the thing. I cannot get through people's heads because all they want to do is bitch and bitch and bitch about him and make posts, and all it's doing is just giving him publicity, even though it's bad publicity. But when you're in the entertainment industry, bad publicity is still good publicity because it is getting people to go check them out.
Exactly. You're
Uh,
giving him power.
yeah. So, and I drilled this into Nick's head.
Yes. A few months ago,
If
and
somebody would turn me loose on that son of a bitch.
Well, what I did, I actually went to one of his pages and reported him as a fraud.
Yeah.
yeah, because he is.
Yeah, but I am not going to be posting about him or anything like that because that is to him that is me giving him approval for what he's doing, and I don't want that.
Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you something.
Yeah, it's like I was going to say, it's like I said before we got started. You're just nothing gives them more pleasure than
You're
giving
right.
those angry
You're
outbursts.
absolutely right. And is he a fraud? I don't know. I have not met him. I have not read him. I don't know.
It has been proven. I forget which celebrity it was. It might have been Queen Elizabeth. It might have been her, but it was actually proven that he had found voice clips from previous interviews and edited them and manipulated them to make it sound like that they were coming out of the spirit box.
Oh my
Somebody
God.
Right.
actually proved that and showed the original interview that clip came from,
No.
and then matched it side by side with what he did from the spirit box. That right there, he lost all credibility of anything.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not okay with any of that bullshit. But I'm gonna tell you something. You all know, I will not charge for readings. I don't put on there that I do readings because I don't unless they come to me. I was actually able to go to anybody that doesn't know me, I'm adopted. I was able to go see my blood family this last week. I was shown pictures. I was, everything you do when you meet your blood family. So one night, the first night I was there, the one that I did actually get to meet, my grandpa, decided to show up. We're going to sleep and he's in my face. Didn't think anything about it. Moved on. I did tell my aunt about it. That's her daddy. Absolutely for you, Brad. It absolutely does. But, one of the things, it doesn't happen when you decide to will it to happen. It doesn't happen when you want it to happen. If you think spirit doesn't have their own time frame and their own will, you've lost your damn mind, because they do whatever the hell they want on that other side. It is not when you decide. And getting on there with a damn spirit box going, okay, the person just died, talk to me. You've lost your fucking mind,
Yeah,
because that is
really.
not how it works. My grandpa's been dead for 9 years. No, 19 years. Holy shit.
Wow.
And he decides to come to me when I've only met him for a week. Now, this shit happens when they decide, when you're ready and when you need it, not when you decide you want money off of it. This is not how this works.
Yeah.
I the people that believe them, bless their heart, they're retarded as hell. That's all I got to say, because no, if they're that slow that they believe this shit, have fun.
The thing is, they just don't understand.
No, they don't.
I think they don't want to understand.
That makes it even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't want to, because if you wanted to, you would do some research, look around, see how this actually works, look at some real teams. Okay, you're good. But maybe they're so attached to Ozzy, and they want to believe anything, just like if it was your own family, and a fake medium says, oh my goodness, I saw your mother and she said she loves you, whatever the case might be, you want to believe it, so you're going to. I get it. I really do. But let's have some opposite side here, and look at the whole picture, because what the hell? It's making our world look really bad.
Yep. I know you got the video ready, Jeremy. Adrian, I just want to show you. This is a picture of Connie that I was telling you about. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it because it's in black and white, but this is.
It's very hard to.
Well, it's a little bit clearer now. I can see. Yeah,
Her eyes is all I need to see, and I can see that.
Yeah, that was bad. That was taken back in 1961, and she was known for her very rich, soothing voice that she had. She also did other songs. I found the other ones I was thinking of: "My Happiness" and "Don't Break the Heart That Loves You So." And she was, hey Donald, yeah, she did a lot of. So, although, to make a long story short, in the later part of her career was kind of rough, beginning in the 70s, unlike it was, in the 50s and 60s for her, because believe it or not, after a performance she was actually raped at one point.
Oh, how awful.
And to make matters worse, she didn't have security with her, and to make matters worse, her rapist was never found. They never found out who it was. And she did make a brief comeback in performing around 1989, and did perform throughout the 90s and early 2000s until she retired in 2018. And I found out she died in her case, she passed away because it was a wheelchair she was using, and I think she broke her hip, and I think it was getting an infection. At first, she said, actually a couple of weeks ago, because she had a Facebook, that on the 4th of July, that sounds like she was going to be feeling better, but unfortunately she fell into a coma. That was the last time that she was up. And although compared to the other celebrities that we talked about, she was older. She was 87 years old.
She went septic.
That's
a broken bone.
That charted on the charts.
Yeah, she was really big. And considering, like, you see a picture, she really had that classic 1950s, early 1960s girl look, like the typical attire they had back in the days. But
Back then, they all did.
they all did. But she was probably the most perfect example. And at one point, she was also engaged to Bobby Darin. And
Oh, okay.
unfortunately, though, there's a rumor. I don't know. They're not sure if this was actually true. While Bobby and Connie were actually in love with each other, unfortunately, for whatever reason, Connie's father didn't approve, and the rumor goes that supposedly he confronted Bobby like in an alley and held him at gunpoint, telling him that he could never see his daughter again. And if that was true, strangely enough, Bobby failed to act and never reported the incident. And she actually said prior to death that um, she was wishing she found out what her dad did. She was wishing that both of them would die in a car accident. I mean, prior to her death, if you talked to her before that, she would have said to you, not marrying Bobby Darin was the biggest regret of her entire life. Which, in my personal opinion, I think they would have been the perfect couple together.
You know what? I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this for the audience, for us, everybody. Please be careful what you wish for, because fate is going to happen no matter what you wish for. But we've learned, like Thin Man, it didn't exist till somebody drew a picture of it, and all of us thought of this, and it became something. It became an entity.
The society manifested it.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Those of us who practice a different religion,
Yeah.
we understand that we can manifest things, whether it's for our own good, but the more that do it does manifest.
So,
And
so maybe I should be careful when I'm creating monsters for my stories.
yeah,
And my stories too.
yeah. Um,
Slender Man. I think that's what you were trying to say.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, Thin Man, Slender Man, they have all kinds of names.
What do you mean Thin Man? I've heard of Slender Man, but not Thin Man.
Uh,
They call it the same thing. It's the same entity. It just depends on who
Yeah.
talks about it. But let's be careful what we think about, what we manifest, what we wish upon things, because that's when our real personality comes out. If we look at something on Facebook and go, fuck you. Okay, that's our first reaction to something we don't agree with. But if we sit and think about that for a long time and go, well, this person's this and this and this and this, it ends up becoming something. We're wishing bad on someone. This world is full of things that we don't understand, that we should not.
What is the issue? One of the main issues that I have with Facebook right now, especially these last couple of days, I have seen so many people wishing death for Donald Trump.
Unfortunately, Donald, I really can.
Real quick, almost forgot to show you guys this. Hopefully, this is actually a picture of what Connie looked like later in life, and she actually still.
I can't see anything but white.
Hang on, I'm going to try to brighten the screen down a little bit.
Send the pictures in the chat.
Oh wait, no, it's starting to show up. Okay, yeah, I don't think it's going to work, but she still actually looks pretty good. And she looked pretty good. The only difference she had was it was kind of more blondish hair she had compared to like when she was younger, because that picture of her from 1961 was when she was in her mid-20s, so it was a different hair color back then.
Yeah, and that's something I want everybody to try. I don't want you to try the other end of it, but if you don't believe in manifestation, try this. Try thinking about and picturing yourself in a good light. like you have money, you have this, and you have that, and you want this, and you want good for whoever it is you care about.
Remember the book that came out some 20, 25 years ago called The Secret?
No.
This is exactly what you're talking about. What that book is. It is about positive thoughts and getting rid of any negative thoughts. Period.
And then try
I
the
didn't buy
opposite
the
if
book.
you're brave. If you're brave. I don't suggest it. I really don't. But if you're brave enough, try the opposite. Try going, fuck you. It doesn't matter. And I want this person to, you know, live a dark life in a ditch or whatever.
Yeah, see how far that gets you.
Try the two. And I've done this. I don't know how it works for anybody else because I've never been brave enough to say I've tried this. And I will never say who who I said this about, but
Okay, here it is. The Secret by Rhonda Byrne.
No, I've heard of Rhonda Byrne. I just never heard of The Secret.
I hadn't either.
It was a super popular book. It is based on the belief of pseudoscience law of attraction,
Okay.
which claims that thought alone can influence objective circumstances within one's life. And
Absolutely.
and
I
I've been
agree.
confused where a lot of people have sworn by this book.
Well, and that even in a way, because like I was saying earlier, like in this case with Connie, how she was wishing death on her dad for driving her and Bobby away, wishing, that they got into a car accident. Because, especially because it just came back to me. That was shortly after when Bobby died in the early 70s.
Right.
So
Right.
that really hit her hard. And it was probably the only time, obviously, that she ever really had these dark thoughts about wishing death on someone, in this case, her own
Right.
father, because he drove what could have been essentially her future husband away.
And that happens a lot.
It
Right.
does. And this was, before anyone jumps to the conclusion, this was not a case in which it was it was an age difference or anything like that. Both of them were around the same age.
Brad, please don't. Please don't. Please
Yeah.
process your grief. Understand the good times you had. Remember those. Please don't. Well, this is not a Stephen King. No, please don't. Please.
18 years, that is a good long time.
Yeah, it
Absolutely.
is.
Remember all the good things you did for that baby.
Well,
Yeah.
and
Please don't.
I
Yeah.
can relate to that, in fact, because we used to have a dog. Well, I mean, not the dog you guys saw. We used to have a different dog, went by the name of Bailey. She was a cockapoo, and we also ended up having her for 18 years. We first got her back in 1999 when I was only like 6 years old. By the time that she passed away, which was, in fact, she actually died on her birthday, which was July 18th. So it was also her death day. And it was, when you really think about it, even though she died on her 18th birthday, it was also her golden birthday, too. So she died in July 18th of 2007. Like I said, I was only 5 or 6 when we first got her. She died in July 18th, 2017. I was 24 years old by then. And we were fortunate, and not only just myself, but my siblings and I, we were fortunate enough that she lived long enough to pretty much see us all graduate from high school and
Yeah.
graduate from college. She
Yeah.
got to be there throughout a good portion, not just our childhood, throughout a good portion of our young adult lives or our lives in general, I would say.
Okay. So I'm going to say this. Braxton, you're absolutely right. And it's the light and dark in us that comes through. So, what we're manifesting, it's a reflection of ourselves. Brad,
Break it to her gently.
so
Yeah.
as far as, okay, the audience, I know you see Brad and I fighting all the time. Brad and I are actually pretty close. Um, I please think about how you're going to tell her, because my daughter still, she is 33 years old. And to this day, she remembers watching her dog get hit by a car outside the window. She remembers what cereal she was eating. And to this day, she will not eat that cereal. And to me, that's
That,
pretty huge.
yeah,
That's
that's trauma.
traumatizing.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
She knows she was
our
going to.
kids grow up knowing animals die. They know they die for a reason. But if you can just somehow let her know that that baby loved her, um, that she did, she made her life amazing, and that she was a huge part of that dog's life, that's going to go a long way. It really will. Of course, you're the dad. You know better than I do. I'm just giving my 2 cents.
And even though you have been preparing her for it, it, in these kinds of cases, it doesn't matter how much preparation you have. When it actually happens, you are still not ready for it.
That's like,
Right.
my in-laws. I know. I know.
Yeah.
I don't know when. I don't know how,
You also have to
but
remember
I
too.
can't be ready.
You also have to give that classic reminder, and this is something that we always have to try to remind ourselves when it comes to the death, not only of just a pet, but also to a loved one. Is just give
I
that
don't think
classic.
there's much difference
Well,
on.
no. What I was going to say was just the reminder of this is not truly goodbye. It's just see you later.
Uh, right. And I don't know how into the paranormal world your daughter is, but I have seen so much of animals putting other animals into your life that act like them or that give you what you need. It's scary, it's crazy, and people that don't
Hey,
aren't in
to
our world, I get it. They think we're nuts, but that's what we have to believe to get through.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, it's been a rough week.
It has. It's going to be a rough month, unfortunately, because
Oh.
we have a retrograde going on. That's, if you believe in that, it's going to get rougher before it gets better.
Yeah. Um, Welcome, Chuck. You actually came to us towards the end of the show. So that you guys know, I actually had two music videos that I've got queued up here. One is a song by Ozzy Osbourne, and is not going to be one of his, his
Whoa.
famous songs.
Who is Chuck?
That sticks.
Sticks, boy, that's Chuck.
Okay. I thought he
He's,
was saying that that person died. I'm like, wait, what?
No, he's Sticks, boy.
I
oh,
missed
oh,
that.
yeah. No, Chuck. That is a different celebrity that he is naming, but
Oh,
Stick Boy is Chuck.
Okay.
He's the one that came over from Mystery. He
yep.
started watching their show, and then he started coming in watching some of the other shows on the network.
Just like it is with Braxton too. Yeah.
Yeah, Braxton is another one just like that. Uh,
And Jeremy, I gotta say, I gotta show us what Brad said. End of the show. I thought it was until a 6 a.m. show.
Brad, not unless you want to. And never mind. It's not a 6 a.m. show.
he really will kick your ass. So I got two music videos queued up here in honor of Ozzy and Hogan. The the song for Ozzy is actually my personal favorite of his, called "Dreamer," and it's basically his message to the world. Um, and it is a very, very good message. And then the other one for Hulk Hogan is the theme song that he always had for the WWF that somebody made a music video back in the 80s. So it's going to be of his earlier years.
And my tribute to whoa, let's back up. I'm obviously exhausted.
It's been a long day, I can tell.
My, I, I actually have a pain patch on my back because I pulled something that I can't even move. My tribute to Theo. Let's look at his values because this is what we need in this life right now. That man was the most amazing, even after the show, was the most amazing person with his values. Now it's being investigated right now whether somebody actually did something to him or whether it was an
His
accident.
death was not natural.
Right. Either way, he's gone, but his values will live on in all of us that watched him.
Okay, so are we ready?
Yes.
Let's do it.
So before I start playing this, once I start playing them, I will play the two videos and then the outro, and then we're done. Um, so and I can't. I have no idea how many people are watching, so I can only go by.
Yeah, me either
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
Jeremy, I have one quick. I'm sorry to ask just before we go. So, how many do we have, by the way, that are coming out on this Saturday?
14.
14.
I
Okay.
think.
Because Genevieve was asking just out of curiosity, so I was just trying to get back to her on that.
Tell her I'll be there in spirit and she'll meet me.
It's you, Tom, Genevieve, me, Scott, Tammy.
Okay, he says 4, and I think
4.
that's on YouTube.
That's probably on YouTube, though. The full view from all the destinations we can't see.
We can't.
So it's you, Tom, Genevieve, Scott, Tammy, me, Carrie, Ron, Justice, Amanda, Gage, Mackenzie. Actually, I think it's just 12.
I thought it was
Give
12.
Scott and Tammy a hug for me. Tell them I miss them.
Is there any chance we can get Genevieve a thing shirt for her? She already told me what size she has. She's looking for a large.
A large?
Yeah, a large shirt.
Brad,
I do believe I have.
please message me if you need
Okay.
anything. Okay.
I'll let Genevieve know so that way she'll be ready for it. But yeah, that's all I just because
The
she
only
was.
one who doesn't have a shirt right now?
What's that?
Is she the only one who doesn't have a shirt?
I don't think Mike Myers has a shirt. I've been trying to talk to him. I haven't really had the opportunity. But I can give him a call after when we get off here and see if I can get a shirt for him too.
No, I'm pretty sure he's got a shirt.
I take that back.
I thought so too.
I actually forgot. No, he does have a thing shirt. You're right. No,
Yeah.
it's just Genevieve then.
Okay. And she wants a large?
A large shirt.
Okay. I will dig that out.
Okay,
All right, guys. So thank you so much for playing along with us tonight. This was an emotional show.
Yeah.
Which we knew it was going to be. We just weren't expecting more bad news.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, that kind of came out of left field. But then again, all deaths come out of left field when you really think about it. So you just never really know.
Mm-hmm.
Never really know. Even if somebody's even if somebody's great one day, it could be like in the case of Hogan, sudden heart attack.
Yep.
So remember to treat everybody like you'd want them to remember you when they're gone.